Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for joining my channel. I am a light warrior. I'm a spiritual priestess. I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I'm certified in Reiki Usai in 2019 as a Reiki master and teacher. I'm also certified in Fire Reiki. Okay, and I also am a walk-in soul, and I am very claircognizant, clairsentient, clairvoyant. I've got a lot of spiritual powers. I'm very spiritually adept. I'm an HSP, and I have come to enlighten you about the truth about mankind, and as well as share my personal experiences of being a warrior spirit to not just enlighten you, but to wake you up out of the sheep, out of the matrix. Many people right now are being called to shed their gifts, their light, their truth, their love, their spiritual, essence on Mother Gaia. She's waking us up to come and to share our stories, to shed the truth, to go to healer modalities. Okay, the world doesn't need more successful people, the world needs more healers. Okay, so what we're gonna do is energetically, everything's energy. So, okay, we're gonna talk about thought form manipulators today in this session. We're gonna talk about toxic entities, toxic people, energy vampires, and reptilians and alpha draconians. So, okay, we're also gonna talk about the evil eye. So, what is the evil eye? It comes from people who are in secret competition with you, who hate you, who are jealous of you, and who try to make trouble and problems in your life. They try to make obstacles in your life. This is stemming from their envy and their jealousy, and their insecurity. And if you're dealing with toxic people in your life, whether it's at work, whether it's in your friend circle, whether it's in family, okay, it comes in many forms to the point where you need to get one of these and you need to protect yourself. So what is a toxic person? So toxic people can range from negative energy manipulators, to the point where they will, this gets tricky. So some of them, okay, use thought form magic to project or mirror, or wish ill will and harm in your life and close your avenues down in your health, in your love life, in your relationships. This ties into toxic people, intrusive individuals, intruders, energy vampires. Energy vampires, what they do is they intrude in your environment, they intrude in your aura, they suck your chi life force energy, they take your good energy, and then you end up feeling depleted, tired. You end up feeling, sometimes you get migraines, you get pain in different parts of your body. And then they take your good energy and then they exchange it for their wickedness inside, to the point where it's like you switch energies, to the point where they will be jealous of you as well, to the point where they will wish you harm and ill will in your relationships. They'll try to ruin your relationships. They'll try to ruin your career or your job. They'll try to ruin your happiness, and they'll try to just take that energy from you. Okay, so in this session, I'm going to be cutting cords from toxic people, negative energy manipulators. Okay, people who are jealous, envious of you. Everything's energy. Thought form manipulators, they will project or mirror their intrusive nature, their wickedness, because they're wicked-hearted, onto your character. So what they do is they will try to stand up against you in groups. They will run in groups, and then they will try to take your happiness or ruin different avenues of your life, to the point where they will try to shut all your roads down, and they will talk about you. And this talk about you, this is an energy form of a spiritual attack. Okay, it's called a psychic attack. So like psychic attackers, also known as psychic intrusions and psychic intruders, come hand in hand with negative energy manipulators, negative entities from the energy vampires, as well as, thought form manipulation, projection, thought forms, to where like some of them are telepathic and they're very intrusive, to where they'll get in your thoughts, whether they go into your thoughts and your dreams at night, or they just go into your line of energy of thoughts. And they wish you harm. They wish they wish to ruin your life. They wish to shut down every single avenue in your life, so you're left feeling depleted. They want you homeless. They want you dead. They wish you harm. It's ill will. So everything's energy. So I'm an energy healer. So I'm gonna cut all of this out. Yes, there are people like this in the world. And you'll never know it, because lots of them are very, very snakish. So they're very shady, and they will hide it and mask it well in their everyday life and their everyday connections, to the point where if you have to be really spiritually adept and spiritually evolved to really feel the energy, because you can't just walk around and feel it unless you've had several spiritual awakenings, or you were born with the psychic powers, the psychic gifts. And a lot of people, they will abuse that nature. Okay, they will abuse a psychic. If you have spiritual gifts and you see right through these types of people, these toxic entities, and their spirit attachments, because they have a lot of really negative spiritual parasite attachments. Some of them have jinn spirits, spirit attachments, the bad jinn. Some of them have, shadow people. Some of them are sons of Satan. Some of them are, there's different realms of different wicked spirits. Some of them can be alpha draconians. Some of them can be alpha reptilians. Some of them can just be really negative and just have really bad, wicked intentions for you, to the point where they will go in and they will go into your circle, and then they will get in, and then a little comment about you from someone, or maybe from them, they'll go into someone's circle, and then they will negatively influence that person's mindset against you, to where like it could be like it'll start from like a little thing, like, oh yeah, she's so moody, did you hear like, this about her, did you see the way she did that, to the point where they'll keep playing off of your energy, and then they'll keep like making you out to be the villain, and they'll villainize you, to where like they try to basically get you down to your knees, and they try to break down every avenue in your life. They'll try to shut down your job, if you have job interviews, your job opportunities, your career opportunities. They'll try to get you fired from your job. Some of them will actually take it upon themselves to go to the facilities and talk down on your name, and just really try to ruin your life, to like manipulate, to the point where they're negative energy manipulators. They try to ruin you. They try to ruin the way other individuals see you, so nobody likes you, so everyone's turned against you, so your doors in that facility, in that area of your life, are completely depleted and shut down, to where like if they even see you be in a relationship, they'll even go to your spouse or your boyfriend or your soulmate or whoever, and they'll be very fake, very superficial. They'll try to befriend them, be like, hey, how are you? And they mask this with fake smiles, superficiality, a fake personality that they project on this person. Okay. And they end up, what they do is they try to form an emotional bond, which is also energy line. And then they try to gain that person's trust, to the point where they will gain that person's trust, and it will be so fake and superficial, to the point where, if they don't agree, or they'll start criticizing you to that person. Like if they don't agree with your lifestyle or your spiritual beliefs, or if they, because a lot of people, like, they won't like your life, but it's like they try to play God, to the point where like they will try to twist everything and try to get you depleted, to where like really jealous people will try to ruin your life. They'll wish you against your relationship, they'll wish against your marriage, they'll wish against your twin flame relationship. They want to turn everyone against you, so you're basically alone. So they feel inside, this replaces this, their jealousy with pride. So like instead of them feeling jealous, because deeply wounded individuals hurt people, people who are jealous, they really will ruin lives. Some people even murder, unfortunately. This is why there's so many murders and things in prison, or like on crime scenes you see like jealous spouses, like you see murders like everywhere, and then like a lot of it is unsolved, and then some people get caught. So it's like jealousy, it comes in different forms, just like Selena Quintanilla, right? The person who was in charge, it was her confidant, it was her friend. She ended up killing her because she was so fucking jealous of her. To the point where like Selena Quintanilla, I feel bad for her, because like I don't feel like her spirit guides fought hard enough to protect her from that. And she wasn't protected, and because she didn't know, she was asleep to it. She didn't know that this woman, you know, was gonna come up and do that to her. Me on the other hand, like I've had people literally try to kill me, like burn me. I was being burned in my car. I was, you know, I've had people try to like literally kill me and take me out, but my spirit guides intervened and were like, no, you're not gonna do this to her. Like they got these people away from me, or they got me to protection. They got me to, you know what I mean, to where like I'm very spiritually protected. To the point where like I'm so spiritually protected and so spiritually evolved now that if somebody wishes a negative entity on me, or like a thought form, or if they do a spell, or if they do death magic, or if they even try to give me the evil eye, it doesn't even penetrate through my aura. It actually acts as a boomerang to that individual, and it actually just hits them like that. So it's like their own karmic backlash, to the point where like I'm so fiercely spiritually protected. The attacks don't hit me like that. Like someone's literally gonna have to like physically come and like, you know, put a gun to my head and pull the trigger. Like I was saying this in the plaza. Like I was in the plaza and I was like, you guys are gonna have to kill me, because like I've been through so much, to the point where like nothing can get rid of me unless the divine wants to take me. You know what I mean? Like he's like, you're my spiritual soldier. He's like, you are more than a survivor. You're not, this is not just a survivor story. He's like, you're my warrior angel priestess. Like you literally are a priestess of the light. You are a priestess and you are chosen. And I put you through all these tests, and these people acted against you, but I tested them too, and I saw their hearts, I saw their intentions, I saw their thoughts. You know, they were harming me and they were harming my well-being, to the point where I went through like every test, but I ended up coming out stronger. So he had put me through a really wild test from like pretty much my whole life. Like I can't even tell you like when I had a smooth ride in life. Like I didn't really have, you know, a smooth ride. Like, you know, where like sometimes things are just like easy going and they flow, to the point where I was surrounded by like toxic negative energy vampires, or, you know, people who were like, they didn't take care of their mental health and they were hurt inside. They didn't medicate, or they went off their medication, or they went undiagnosed. They didn't even, you know, go to therapy. You know what I mean? And to the point where like, because they didn't take care of their mental health and their wounds, they were projecting and mirroring their wounds onto me. So they would like, you know, steal my stuff. They try to burn my skin. Like they try to like harm me. Like they try to harm my character. You know, they try to verbally abuse me. They tried to ruin my life. Like they tried to close down avenues in my life. Like I had like a lot of people who were karmics in this lifetime, like really try to come up and form against me, to the point where it was secular witchcraft. And they would plot on me. They would talk down on my name. They would give me the evil eye. They would cast magic. A lot of them actually did like death magic on me. I had people do homeless spells on me. I had people try to do you know, lots of black magic on me, whether they were Satan witches or Druid witches or old world religion witches or wizards or Satan's sons, or, you know, whatever they were, Santeras and Paleros from Santeria, to where like I defeated all of these attacks. Like I lived through them, to where like a person who is not a spiritual warrior, who is not chosen by the divine, who's not an angel incarnate, you know, a basic person, probably with the level of attacks that I was getting, like they would have gotten into a car accident and died, or like they would have died, like they wouldn't have survived. And like I said, it's more than survival at this point, to the point where like I'm so spiritually protected, that it won't even hit my aura. It won't hit me physically. It won't hit me emotionally. It will completely boomerang back to that person. Like if they send me something, boom. If it's a thought form intrusion, to the point where like they wish me harm, that will happen to them instead of me. My spirit guides and my spirit animals, my spirit tribe, my spirit team, they don't play. So like I need you guys to understand that you need to protect yourself, because it will, you know, negative energy intruders and all of these harmful intrusions from toxic people around you, you know, they negative energy manipulators, it's very, very, very common, to the point where like people will try to like ruin your life. Like they will try to literally go behind your back. They'll smile to your face. They'll act like they love you, or they'll act like they like you, or they're cool with you. But the whole time, they will be wishing you harm, or they'll be doing candle magic on you, or they'll be doing like graveyard death spells on you, or they'll have a voodoo doll on you, or they do this just without all those tools, and they'll do it sneakily to be negative energy manipulators, and they'll talk down on your name. They'll spread rumors and lies about you. And this is also forms of magic, these what I'm naming, to the point where, you know, your roads will end up like shutting down like different avenues, to the point where like you'll try to get a job, and then it's like, you know, these people, they know your name, they know your birth date, so it's like if they know this, you know, that is gonna, they're gonna try to like cause problems for you, conflicts and negative energy intrusions, and then, you know, they will cast on you. So like they will literally cast on you. Everything is energy. Okay, so like if you want to do a spell, like a candle magic spell, that's energy. If you want to have a thought, that's energy. If you say something, this is energy. Whether you do black magic or not, everything is energy. So like if you're talking negative about somebody, that's going to manifest something for that person. You have to really be aware and just be careful with what you do, because or what you say and how you manipulate others against that person, because you never know how strong that person's spiritual team is. Like they may look alone, but you don't know who's guarding them in the spirit realm. You can't see. So it's easy to just like, you know what I mean? So I would, if I were you guys, I would really protect, you know, your energies, to the point where, you know, there's all types of motives out there. There's all types of people with like specific like intentions. There's lots of jealousy, unfortunately, that's, you know, that comes with negative energy manipulators, spiritual intruders, you know, just toxic people and things like this, to where like what they do is, the toxic people, they'll go in and they will not only feed off of your mood swings as like energy vampires, but like toxic people will try to produce thought form, like they'll harm you, your well-being, like so they'll harm you in your emotional health and your mental health, to where like you start feeling feelings of, you know, depression, or you start feeling really down, really low, you start really feeling really heavy, you know, and then like what they do is that they turn others against you, like if they're negative energy manipulators, and what they do is they create a story that's not even your truth, and then what they do is they negatively energetically project or mirror this onto the people that they wish to turn against you, and they get through in their like thought intrusions. So they negatively influence them through power of the tongue, which is energy, talking, manipulation, okay? And then it gets in the person they're trying to turn against you, in their psyche, in their mind. So it's thought form. It's very sneaky, okay? It's manipulation. This is what a lot of toxic individuals do. They're very manipulative. And I've seen this in both men and women, to the point where they need to have control, because they have a loss of control over something in themselves, or something in their lives. So they have, what they do is they turn it away from them. They don't seek the therapy or the help that they need. They end up self-medicating, and then they end up trying to target one individual who's usually the scapegoat, right? Or they blacklist them, or, you know, the black sheep, and then they make all of these problems, all of these blockages, and they throw it all on that person, to where they look like an angel in the person's eyes they're trying to manipulate against you, but you look like the villain. So this is why you must protect yourself spiritually, because everything's energy. So everything that is made up of, you know, energetic matter, this is a spirit. So what you need to do is you need to take stuff like this and burn it, okay? I don't care what anyone says, and if people don't like it, that means they're evil as fuck, okay? So this is the truth. This, and I've gotten more subscribers, so thank you so much, and welcome to the channel. I was so busy this week, you guys. I was trying to get something that like I just never took it upon myself to do for me, and I ended up doing it this week, and it finalized, and I'm so happy because it manifested positively for me, to the point where like I'm gonna fucking celebrate next week. Like I cannot wait. And I'm completely like I'm so happy. Okay, so I'm gonna do some Reiki. This is some energy healing, okay? This is based in Asia. So what you're going to do is you're going to get things like black tourmaline, selenite rod, smoky quartz, black onyx, black obsidian, and you're going to surround yourself with these crystals. Okay, those crystals are protective, as well as pneumite and astrophyllite. Okay, so like this right here is astrophyllite, and it is really good to protect you. My pneumite, unfortunately, before I was completely spiritually protected, my pneumite, it was misplaced in the plaza to the point where I had to go through all of that, not only just for a spiritual test, but to see like how strong the divine wanted to test me, to see my strength, and he wanted to see my heart, and he wanted to see where my intentions were. And then he also tested other people, and he wanted to see like, okay, these wicked people are coming up against my light warrior, my angel incarnate, my goddess incarnate, because this is what I am. And so he was testing like that side, like the darkness versus me, the light, because I don't have darkness in me. Like I've been influenced by dark spirits and spirit attachments a long time ago when I was like really, really young. But other than that, I'm from the light. But the darkness, it always tries to like come and like overtake me, and it tries to cling to my aura. So I have to do lots of energetic cleansings. It tries to influence me to do things that I don't want to do, and it's always, the older I got, the more I started understanding like, okay, this is not my energy. This is, other energy trying to come because I'm a light worker. I'm a goddess incarnate. I am a spiritual warrior, high priestess. Okay. I'm an angel incarnate. And I'm not really going to get into lots of Abrahamic religion talk right now, but humans will literally go to the point where they'll go and demonize ancient gods, to the point where like they will demonize Lucifer, who's a light bearer. He actually got me through some of my really dark times. Like he got me through a lot of dark times from Santeria attacks. He got me through lots of like just secular witchcraft attacks, to where like people were wishing me harm. They were wishing I was homeless. They were wishing that I lost my kids. They were wishing that my twin flame fucking did all this bad shit to me. And what they were doing was they were manipulating somebody against me, and like other people against me, to the point where I was fighting for my life, and I had to, they produced a lot of trouble in my life for me, but somehow I came out breathing, and I defeated their attacks, because like I had like 5 groups attacking me, like 2 groups of Santeria. I had a son of Satan attack me. His brother attacked me, who was like a wizard. He's a male witch. And then I had, someone who called herself a druid, but she was also a daughter of Satan. And Satan and Lucifer are not the same entity. Okay, I want you guys to understand that, Lucifer has been demonized, and Lilith has been demonized, and these fallen angels who also have powers, just like, their father, they have been wrongfully exiled and they were demonized. And these beautiful ancient gods and goddesses like Lucifer, Grimoire, Citri, Belial, Lucifuge, Rofokal, you know, Marchosias. I could keep going. I know the fallen angel realm, and they're not what the Christians say that they are. They're not at all what the Christians say. Father Lord Clawneck, like he's for money. Like he'll help you open your roads for money. He'll also help you in your health. King Belial, he's very, very, very protective, to where he was my patron at one point, and he was pulling me through all of their attacks with Father Lucifer, who was the light bearer and the light bringer. They're not entities that are going to possess you and go into you and literally make your head spin around and make you vomit that, green. No, they actually are going to be like, trusted confidants, to where they're going to be like, okay, like, I'm not going to let these dark entities come up against you. Like, I'm going to, like, they will be like your friends, but they'll also be like, okay, we're going to get your ass in check. Like, to where, like, you're like in, how am I supposed to say this? Not Mortal Kombat. I keep thinking of Mortal Kombat lately. It's, to where, like, they will be like your lieutenants and like your colonels in the military, to where, like, but they won't be harsh. They won't like yell at you, but they'll like take you, they'll discipline you. Okay, so like Father Lucifer and King Belial, they will discipline the fuck out of you, and they will literally like make your ass get out of bed, defeat anxiety, defeat ADHD, defeat depression. You know how I know this? Because I've had all these before. I've suffered from that. They'll help you defeat thoughts of suicide. I was suicidal at a couple points in my life because of the attacks, and it took me a long time to be like, okay, this is not my energy. This is what other people were wishing on me, and to where I had to go through so many trials and stuff because of other people, negative energy manipulators, jealous people, to where like I was in a plaza and then I lived on a stairwell, and to where I was like getting burned on my skin, and then other people in the past had burned my face, and then like people in plaza were like going through my car and like burning me like right here, and I have these pictures. Okay, I have pictures of like every single attack. So I just want you guys to know that like I'm a spiritual warrior priestess. I'm not your average like mortal. Like I'm very awakened. I'm very spiritually adept and evolved. I'm very psychic. I didn't ask for this. I was chosen by the divine. I'm also a twin flame and divine feminine. Um, and I'm so much more, but I'm very misunderstood because mortals, you know, they can't really relate to me because like I've walked through the fire so many times. Like I've defeated so many spiritual attacks coming from, you know, enemies who are envious and jealous and you know, just like wicked like spirits, like people who just didn't have good intentions like inside of themselves, to the point where like, you know, they were really trying to ruin me. And for some reason I just came out of it. I'm breathing and like I'm alive. So like I thought that I knew that I was going to defeat their attacks, but it took me a long time to really call my power back to me and stand in my power. It took me like 40 years to understand what was going on. Okay, that was them. This is me. This was not my fault. You know, a lot of this was the jealous, envious, negative energy manipulators who created these problems in my life. And I was like, okay, it made me really, really like when I reflected and did shadow work, and I had so many ego deaths. And really looked back on everything, I was like, wow, that was not my energy. Like, I'm such a conduit to where, like my friend, like, sent me a long time ago, like a Baphomet shirt. And then I had another friend, she sent me a Baphomet statue. And it the whole time that was not my energy, to the point where like I saw the Baphomet, and it was attached to somebody who I don't really want to go into it right now, but I'm so spiritually adept and open, to the point where like you see like I'm a sponge, like or like if fallen angels came to me, like, or like, you know, it was that, for instance, was my ex's now pretty much ex-wife, because she's divorcing him. But I like literally walked through the trenches. Like I really went through it to really understand, like, okay, this was not my fault. This was literally not even my energy. These were mirrors and projections of all these people who were psychic attacking me. So you guys need to realize, like, sometimes it's not your energy, like, and you don't need to be wallowing in regret because it's jealous people. Maybe they see something in you that they don't embody, that they're jealous of. Maybe you're very strong and you're everything that they can't be or that they're not. So then they're going to try to produce blockages and problems in your life. And they will come up and they will fucking have the balls to do this shit. And they'll do this in groups, to the point where they will like literally make you the bad guy, and they will avoid years of talk therapy. You know, they will literally self-medicate. They'll be so manipulative, shrewd, and just so evil, to the point where like they make you just look like the villain, to the point where it's like at this point it's like you have to focus on yourself, because those types of individuals who are going to just walk around and just you know, try to ruin your life, those are low vibrational parasite spirits. They're nothing. You're not going to see a high vibrating, you know, spiritual goddess or a spirit god incarnate, you know, a divine masculine, divine feminine. You're not going to see a spiritually evolved individual go and walk around and manipulate other people against each other. Like, you're not going to see that. You will only see like the darkness, the spiritual parasites, energy vampires, alpha reptilians, alpha draconians, and just like the negative wicked spirits who don't have light. Like energy vampires do this. You know, toxic people do this. People who avoid self-reflection, people who live from their ego, people who live very superficial on the surface, people who you know, they may know something's wrong with them, but they don't want to fully admit, or they don't want to fully you know, so then they put their I don't want to say demons, but they put like their energy or like what they're trying to hide, you know, because like people wear a mask in this world, so like they hide behind masks, right? So where like they try to put the villain on you, they villainize you. They, whether they do this through, like I said, thought form manipulation, verbal abuse. They do this in narcissistic triangulation. It's narcissistic abuse, to where like they produce this hate bonding with others who are jealous of you as well, or people that maybe they're not unsure about you, and then they produce this like negative energy, and you're like a villain now to like these people, and they're like avoiding self-reflection. They're not being like real with themselves. Like they're not going to therapy, you know, they're going to be vaping all the time, they're going to be smoking tons of like whatever, crack, weed, whatever the fuck they do. Okay, and they're going to be literally like putting all of their darkness and their negative energy into the minds of people who were supposed to bring you comfort, love, and trust, and they're going to turn those people against you. This is like what evil, darkness, energy vampires, you know what I'm saying, jinn spirits, you know, all of these negative entities, shadow people, even sons of Satan, and to the point where like they won't have a conscience. A lot of them are very sociopathic. They literally don't fucking think before they leap. They just kind of just do, or they'll like suck your energy, to where like their personality is just very shallow, to the point where like they don't ever grow out of that childlike mind. Like they don't have emotional intelligence, to where like, you know, they're just very toxic individuals, and you know, they're superficial as fuck, to where they have no depth to them in their soul. They have no warmth in their soul. They have no comfort. They don't have love inside of themselves. They don't have light inside of themselves. So what do? They do the best that they can to take your energy, to ruin your life, to ruin your reputation, to produce blockages, to produce trouble, create problems in your life, make you have a hard life. But in the end, like the divine, he sees everything, and he's like, okay, like you really tested, like you just didn't know, like you tested my spiritual warrior, my priestess, like you don't know who you're coming up against. You know what I mean? To where like I'm so divinely protected, you guys, that like if a spirit even thinks about coming to me, my spirit guides, my spirit animals, my whole spirit tribe, my ancestors will form as a shield around me all the time. They'll be like, oh, wait, what were you going to do to her? Oh, wait, I don't think so. You're not going to fucking do that shit to her. Go turn around and go do it. Or they'll just be like, they'll like form a shield around me. And then their spirit team, the people who are trying to harm me, will be like, okay, no, we can't go through that. Like, we can't harm her. We can't even touch her. Like, you know, because people will send their own fucking wicked spirits, like, against you, to where, like, their spirit teams will try to attack you. I don't know if you guys know this, but, like, it's very, very common. You can't see it, so you don't know. And it's, unless you're, like, spiritually evolved, very psychically aware, if you have psychic powers, you know, if you have, because I'm, you know, spiritual warrior priestess, to the point where I defeated a lot of my enemies' attacks, to the point where, you know, they try to have me killed in the street. Basically, they try to have me dead in the street. They tried to take away everything that they thought would ruin me, so I would either be in a prison or a jail or a psych ward, and it didn't work. So this is why we cut. Okay, so like now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take all of this out from you guys, and I'm just gonna cut the energy. Okay, and then so I'm gonna go like this. So like we're cutting away all the tethers from the negative energy manipulators. We're cutting everything away from, you know, jinn spirits. You can spell jinn like J-I-N-N. Some people spell it D-J-I-N-N. Okay, I've known jinn spirits since I was 10. There can be good jinn and bad jinn, but unfortunately I knew the bad ones. I've known spiritual parasites, you know, archon spirits. I've known reptilians, alpha draconians. They have no godlight. They were born with no source light from the divine, to where like they'll be spiritual intruders, spiritual parasites. They'll leech off of your light, okay, and they will leech off of your spiritual environment, to the point where like it's like your atmosphere, like around you. Like if it's yours, they're gonna try to come and take. They're gonna try to take it over. They're spiritual intruders. to where they'll psychically attack you. And some of them, they don't know how to go into your dreams, but some of them do this through thoughts. Okay, and like they will try to use their telepathy for the worst of mankind, not the greater good, because they're hurt. So they don't know how to heal from the hurt. So like when people are hurt, they end up hurting other people instead of healing. And then they carry all of that hurt and that pain within them, and then they end up masking it with like, you know, alcohol, sexual addictions, whatever, any type of drug addiction, to where like they don't seek help and they keep, you know, self-medicating, and then they put like their venom and their poison in others, or they project it on someone else's character so they can wear that mask and kind of hide behind it and keep living how they're comfortable, which is in an addiction. It's in an addiction. So like this is why like it's so important to cut the cords to like this bad negative energy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go to the back of your head, you guys. And I'm going to get it because it manifests, like psychic attacks, they manifest in your third eye chakra, your crown chakra. And then it starts to tether like in the back of you to where like it's like your neck, your shoulder blades. I'm going to kind of get, okay, I'm going to go underneath your feet and your back. I'm going to go to your root chakra. A lot of it catches on your root chakra, you guys. You don't realize it. A lot of it catches on your throat chakra. They try to shut you down your truth to where you can't defend yourself. You can't stand up against them and talk your truth, like, and tell like what really happened, to where like you start doubting yourself. They try to shut down your solar plexus chakra. That's your inner powerhouse of your, you know, the way that you see yourself, your positive self-reflection, your self-esteem, your self-worth. They try to go into your dreams through your third eye chakra, your crown chakra. They try to intrude on your soul star chakra and your dream states. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of this. It's really important that you guys understand the psychic attack is so real, and everything's energy, and that intentions are so important to like, there could be an energy vampire and they could literally just be like tethering off of your energy and like making you the villain and like, you know, hiding behind this mask of like fucking bullshit, okay? To the point where like eventually when that energy vampire gets older, unfortunately the karma is going to hit very hard, because like karma usually hits people like that when they're a little bit older. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take with the selenite out negative energies, okay? And you have to wear like a red string bracelet. If you have a charm, like a Hamza charm like this is really good to wear. You know, this will defeat some, you know, and then we'll talk about, hold on. Sorry, you guys. We'll talk about generational curses in like another video, like a future video. But when you shower, depending on like if you have charms like this, you want to take it off right after the shower, you put it back on. You also want to get this right here. This defeats psychic attacks. Like this will take out. You put this on an ailment. Okay, you guys see this right here? Read this. This is like the master of taking out psychic intrusions, psychic attacks. This right here, all you need is some of this, and you put it literally, because there will be vampires that they will wish you harm, and then depending on how you know, psychic aware and how psychically open and psychic powers you have, you know, it'll hit you and you'll feel it more. So where this takes the shit right out, this right here, okay, this will protect you. This type of incense right here. I don't know if you could see that. As well as this will protect you. This crystal will protect you right here. And I'm going to put all of this in the description box below, because this defeats psychic attacks. And it also, this crystal, which is the same as this, I'll put all this in the description box below, because I'm not going to say this physically out loud. I'm going to put all the protective crystals that help you. I'm going to put all the incenses. You know, I'm going to, right now, just kind of cut to where, like, you know, I am very spiritually open and adept to where, like, I feel people casting on me, whether it's if they think an ill will thought of me and they do something harmfully in their thoughts. I'm very telepathic, so I will automatically, with my psychic powers that were given to me by the divine, I'll pick up on that line of energy really quick. and I'll read their thoughts, to the point where like I used to think it was a curse. I felt cursed so bad because like I was picking up on like so many people's bad intentions and their ill wishes against me, to the point where I was like, it was so overwhelming, and I wasn't protecting myself. Like I didn't know how to the point where like the divine was like, okay, like we really need to basically like put her like in this like as spiritual soldier mode, to where like I'm gonna test her and she's gonna have to learn this way, because she's not like I wasn't like picking up on like certain things that I needed to pick up on. Okay, so like I went through like the ultimate test, and somehow I survived the attacks on my skin. I survived the psychic attacks. I survived losing my soul fragments. I survived just so many just different psychic intrusions, to the point where I literally just remember like feeling like a spiritual warrior, like more than a soldier, more than a survivor. I was like, how the am I still breathing? Like I should be dead right now. And like I beat death many times because of other people's attacks. I was very spiritually protected. So I have a very strong spirit team. And it took me like basically almost 41 years to really understand like, okay, this is how the world really works. This is really what's going on. You know, there's different types of realms. There's, you know, wicked spirits. There's different types of spirits from different realms. Like there's jinn, there's shadow spirits, there's energy vampire spirits, you know, spiritual parasites. Then there's like different types of, you know, entities, to where depending on their powers, they abuse their powers, to where like they act from their wickedness, and then they start harming the light workers. Okay, so I am a light worker. I'm a part of the 144s as well. Okay, the star seeds were very, very rare. To where like I've had a past life in the Pleiades, I've had a past life in Pegasus, I've had a past life on Orion's belt in both Mintaka and Bellatrix. I've had a past life in Atlantis and Lemuria, and so on and so forth. So like I'm very evolved. Like I've had past lives on Mother Gaia in different countries. Like, you know, this is not I'm not a new soul. I'm a very old, evolved soul, but like I look young. But this is because of my spiritual goddess incarnate, as well as the tests that, you know, I had to really go through. And it was other people who were projecting their karmic cords and their karmic ties on me. And I was basically paying for their karma, and they were destiny swapping me. And it took me 41 years to understand what a destiny swap is. And I talk about this in my previous videos. Okay? Destiny swapping, it's really wrong. It's severe. It's very intrusive, and it's very, it's secretive, and it's just wrong. I talk about this in my previous videos, so I'm not going to go into destiny swapping in this video, but you guys have to go to my channel, subscribe, and watch like the series of my videos that I've put out. And yeah, so I've defeated a ton of spiritual attacks by different types of witches. You know, like I said, Santeras, Poleros, Centeros, sons of Satan, sons of the jinn, spiritual shadow people, spiritual negative entities, spiritual parasites, things like this. Excuse me, to the point where they will literally try their best to project and mirror what's inside of them onto, you know, others. And they will, what they do is, like I said, they will be very chameleon, snake-like, to where they'll be like snakes in the grass, to where they'll be like shady, and then they won't ever like take accountability of what they've done to you, because like their whole purpose is to ruin you and to like set ruin on your life, to where like they'll close down, they'll wish you harm in your relationship, they'll wish you harm in your health, they'll wish you harm in every fucking avenue, to where like depending on how, you know, their negative entity spirit attachments and, you know, the things that they're avoiding in them, and, you know, all of their pain inside of them, that's how severe the attacks will be, because they're basically avoiding, you know, self-reflection, they're avoiding therapy, they're avoiding taking a look in the mirror, they're avoiding, you know, accountability and the truth, and they're just like living on this superficial, like false surface, to where like they hide behind a mask, everything's just like, it's just very superficial, and it's just like like they don't take anything serious until like, you know, the karma kind of hits later in life. Guys, my neighbors have this fucking camera, like, pointing to my, like, to this side of the house, like, the back of this house. It's so weird. I, like, see it. It's, like, red. That's so fucking weird. Anyways. I don't think it's to my room. I think it's to the back room, but... So this acts as a magnet. This is an EMF, anti-pollutant orgonite, an orgone dome. So what I'm going to do is, it's going to take out pollutants. And what I'm going to do is, as well, I'm going to light this really quick because I feel like we need a little bit of cleansing. We need to defeat bad entities because there are bad spirits that you cannot see. They could even pass your window at night. They could be walking at night. They could attach to you at night. They attach to you. They could follow you home, go into your house, attach to you. They could attach to your loved ones. So it's important to really protect yourself, okay? And like right when I said that, I heard something outside of my fucking window to the point where I'm just like, I swear, I felt like something negative past my window. And there's not a physical person out there, but I sense the spirit out my window right now. Leave and don't come back. You're not welcome here. Bye. So like sometimes you have to fucking talk to it like that. You have to be forceful with the spirits because if if there's spirits that are like even on your land, they could be, and I'm getting the chills and I feel it around me. And it's, I've been told that this house is built on an ancient burial ground to where like it could be spirit attachments from spirits that have incarnated on this land from past lives and their souls are lost to where like they're just attached to this land. So this is why like I like to get sweetgrass. You guys, I just saw something walk across my fucking window and it looked like a woman. It's weird. It looked like my mother, but she's not even out there. I saw it. That was so creepy. So my clairvoyance is open. I saw this. I just saw like an Asian woman walk. You guys, and I'm getting the fucking chills to the point where like my mother is not even out there. This is why, like, sometimes I feel like my gifts are a curse. I saw a, like, woman. She was Asian. She was older. And she was walking near my window. And I closed my window and I just saw her. So, like, my clairvoyance, it's very open. I'm going to be putting these protective crystals at my windowsill. And I'm not going to be sleeping with my window open tonight. That really creeps me out. It looked like my mother. Okay. So, I literally just saw her, like, walk across right by my window to the point where, like, I shut my blinds and it looked just like my mother. And this is what these types of spirits do. Like, they will literally try to say your name, because my kids have said this in this house when they were here. They were like, oh yeah, like, did you say my name? Because it sounded like your voice. And like the spirits here, they're very like annihilating to the point, and they're very like harmful to where they'll try to play off like, it's like someone in your family saying your name, and they'll try to be like, they'll have the same voice, and then it'll be in your mind to where they'll just like say your name. They'll be like, they'll say your name with that person's voice, or they will, walk across your window and fucking, or just appear to you. And sometimes I'm just like, okay, is she like astral projecting to me? Is she taking a nap? Was that her astral projection? And I literally just saw it with my eyes because I'm so psychic. So like my spirit, like my gifts, They're very, very strong to where I literally just saw the spirit outside my window. Okay. That was crazy because my mother's in her room. She's not even by my window. Okay, so like that is creepy as fuck. I just saw an Asian woman just walk past my window. And she was like in the left part of the window to the point where like I saw her reflection in the glass because like this, the light's on. And I literally thought she was walking by my window, so I started shutting the blinds. That was just really like this is my gifts. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this. I had to light a frankincense. No. I'm sorry. I didn't light frankincense. No. I lit dragon's blood. So like yeah, that spirit is literally like outside fucking walking around right now, and I'm just like, what in the actual right now? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start cutting. Because I don't know, she could be taking a nap and she could have been astrally projecting to me to where like sometimes she doesn't even know that she does it. Because my mother, she's from a line of witches. Her great grandma was a midwife and a doula and a medicine woman, and she delivered babies, and my mother has this in her. So like sometimes she doesn't realize her power, and she will literally like if she gets angry, she will cast and she won't even realize that she's casting. And this runs in my family to where like when people get angry, they will fucking cast. And sometimes they don't realize it, and then sometimes they do realize it, but sometimes they don't. To where like it gets really telepathic, and then this is how they end up causing destruction, and then I end up reading all this in my gifts and seeing this like what normal people can't. Whether I see the spirit or I see the thought form of the line of energy, I see what they wish or I see with their thoughts, and I'm like, fuck, it gets really overwhelming, okay? So where like these gifts, like I was born with this, like I can't run from them, and it gets really, really like heavy sometimes. Like it gets really like to the point where like I can't even do a substance to shut my gifts out. Like my gifts are so powerful that like I can't sleep on my gifts for the life of me. Okay. I'm not one of those people with an addictive personality. Like I cannot, take a substance. It'll do the opposite effect on me because I'm spiritually awakened and I'm evolved and I'm chosen to what it does to like regular mortals who don't have spiritual powers and who don't have psychic gifts. So like it affects me differently because I'm chosen. I'm a goddess incarnate. The divine chose me. I'm a twin flame divine feminine. I've went through all of this. So like all of this shit doesn't affect me like regular people, like mortals. Okay. So like I've never tried to take the medicine for ADHD. I forgot what it's called, but I've never tried to take that, but I'm sure that it would do the opposite, like adverse effects than I've taken a depression medicine a long time ago, and it made me feel like a zombie, and like I couldn't do anything. Like I felt like I was a literal zombie to the point where like I would just sit all day, or I would just like eat, or I would just not do shit to the point where like I felt like I was locked inside of my body. Like it was just this hazy, it was really bad to the point where like depression medicine doesn't work for me. Anxiety medicine doesn't work for me. Pills, all that shit doesn't work for me. I could drink literally like 5 cups of coffee and go to sleep. Like things don't affect me like they affect other mortals. It's like really hot in here, and it's like I want to open the window, but I'm gonna try to see like what is going on out here. That was so crazy how like I literally just saw her walk across my window, but it was weird because I saw her like walking, and it was like the reflection inside of my room. So I'm like wondering if she was astrally projecting to me, if she's taking a nap right now. I don't know really what she's doing, but it was almost like she was inside here with me, and I was seeing her like walk towards me and her spirit. So I'm just gonna kind of like open the window. But I have my dragon's blood cone lit right now, so like that was really freaky. and it looked just like her. It was like a twin of her, but it was her spirit, because I didn't hear, like, when you hear someone walking like in the grass, like you hear the grass and their feet. I didn't hear the footsteps in the grass. I saw her, like she was like walking towards me, and then it was like she like kind of like it like disappeared. Like it didn't come to the second part of the window, like where it splits, where the glass splits. It was just in that first window over there, and I didn't hear grass. So I knew that she's either spiritually projecting to me, astral projecting to me, or it was one of the land spirits here. And what they do, like I said, is they'll try to sound like your loved one, or they'll try to, mimic their voice and say your name, because my kids always said this to me. Or they'll try to make themselves look like them, because that's what spirits can do. Like wicked spirits, they can make themselves, they can manifest themselves in the form they want to be seen as. But it's like a glamour magic chameleon. Like, it's weird. I can't explain this, but I fucking saw that spirit, and I'm getting the chills right now. And it wasn't my mother. It wanted to look like my mother, but that was not my mother. I don't know, fuck this. Okay, this is just, I knew that something was gonna happen. Like, I felt this all week. I was just feeling like something is off, something is not right. So this is my honey calcite. That was really creepy, because I literally, like, she looked like she was going outside past my window, and then my spirit guides were like, no, she was like astrally projecting to you inside, but you saw the reflection on the window, but she was inside. So like now I'm just like, what the right now? And then I'm just like, was she astrally projecting to me, or was that like one of the land spirits that were trying to with me? Because like I don't see spirits like just walking around every day. I've seen a spirit when I was a little girl in at the time, my schoolmate's house. It was like a little boy spirit. I saw it in the house. And then I saw the Baphomet spirit years and years later, which was a couple years ago actually. And the Baphomet spirit, he's a goat, and he's really tall, like 6 feet, 6'1", 6'2", and he stands on his hooves, like his hind legs, and he's like this. To where like somebody in the house was dating somebody who was invoking the Baphomet. So like I saw that spirit, and it was like attached to like the rooms back there, the other two rooms. And it was standing like in between, like at the door of the room. So like I knew. And then but it wasn't a harmful spirit. It was more like they're very afraid of the Baphomet. He wasn't like trying to harm me. He was just more like attached to the person who was kind of like involved with the person that evoked and worked with that spirit. But he wasn't trying to harm me. Like the Baphomet was not trying to harm me. He was just like showing himself to me. Like I saw him because, I'm spiritually adept. And like when I go to the graveyard, you guys, it's so overwhelming. I feel so many spirits, and like to the point where like I'm just like, oh my God, and then I'll pick up on the spirit's thoughts. Like there'll be lost souls on this realm, on Mother Earth, to where like they'll be like, help me cross over to the light. And like I don't even mean to ignore them, but it's just so creepy that I'm just like, okay, like I can't do this right now. I can't do this. And that's also part of my purpose, but I'm still not there yet, to the point where like I kind of run from that. As it's been like this my whole life, to the point where like spirits will try to attach to my light. They'll try to attach to my goddess energy. And then if those spirits can't, then wicked spirits and humans and mortals will try to fuck with me. To where it's like, it just gets really overwhelming. Okay? My spiritual gifts. That was really creepy, you guys. I just saw her like literally walk outside my window, like coming like towards it was like the spirit was coming towards like the open part of the window, but coming from that way. And it's weird because like my mom, like when my sister's at work, my mom will walk past my window, and she'll like be doing stuff outside, and she'll just like walk past my window. She'll like push my screen in, but I don't think she usually walks in the dark like this. But it looked just fucking like her, and I swear to the gods. And if I shut the video off right now, she's probably in her room just sitting on her bed or like on the phone. So that was like really fucking creepy. Okay, to the point where like I've seen spirits like in my, third eye. Yes, I've seen it with my clairvoyance. probably like, 5 times in my life, I'm more claircognizant and clairsentient, to where that's psychic knowing and psychic feeling. And then I also have telepathy. Like, my telepathy is profound, to the point where like I can just pick up on people's thoughts. And when I walk into grocery stores, when I'm in groups of people, it gets really overwhelming. This is why I like to stay alone, because my gifts are so powerful, to where like I would rather just be alone, because I don't want to pick up the emotions and the thoughts of other people, because it's so many emotions, it's so many thoughts, and it gets so overwhelming, to where like I'm just like it's just like a tunnel vision, to the point where I'm just like, I can't fucking do this shit anymore. To where like, you have to take like a depressive, like sometimes, like before, when I was transitioning into this body, because I'm a walk-in soul, and I'm more clairvoyant than the, spirit who incarnated in this body before me. She was clairvoyant, but she was really, really clairaudient, clairsentient, and cognizant. But me, I'm more of a blue ray star seed. She was more of an indigo star seed. I have more psychic sight. So, like, I'll see the spirits. And sometimes it can be really overwhelming, okay? So, like, just like what I just encountered. So, yeah, that was really creepy. I'm going to take my selenite rods, and I'm just going to take out negative energy. I'm tapping this too hard, and then I'm going to cut cords on negative energy. I'm going to kind of do over my head, my back, and go to your crown chakra, your crown, and get it from your soul star chakra, your third eye chakra, where your pineal gland is, your throat chakra, your heart chakra, solar plexus chakra, sacral chakra, base root chakra, earth star chakra. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the session tonight. I love you guys. If you can, make a donation. I'm open to receiving equal energy exchange donations. Hang on. It's in my Cash App right now. And also, I don't have my PayPal address anymore. I don't think I have my PayPal, but live example of energy vampire that you just heard. But also, I wanted to light this, and I wanted to call power back to us as well. So what we're going to do is, okay, because there's lots of energy vampires, and there's lots of wicked parasite spirits who like to feed on you. And what they do is they're very, very egoistic, and they will operate on a superficial level like that, to where like that's a personality. Like, they don't have remorse, regret, they don't take accountability, they hide behind a mask, they self-medicate, and then they try to put all this negative energy, like villain energy, on you, to where like they look like they're perfect little angels in the people's eyes that, they want to stay good to, so they could keep intruding on your spiritual energy and your light and, your life force and, your atmospheric environment. So I'm going to take this crystal right here. This is a seer. And I'm going to say, every single harm that every energy vampire wished on me may not hit my aura 3 times 3. May it go back to them. May it be a lesson to be learned. And may they grow from this and start developing and start getting, feelings, because I'm not with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they need to start feeling the consequences of their own projections onto me, go back on them, because like that's the only way they're going to stop. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I'm going to open this now again, because it gets really warm in this house. And my dragon's blood is still burning. So this acts as a magnet. And like, if someone's an energy vampire, they're going to be surrounded by like, groups of people. And then what they do is they'll still pay attention to you, and they'll still you know, chief off your life force energy to where like they're still completely focused on you. This is what energy vampires do. Um, they will just be completely focused on you to the point where like you feel it. Like you feel their intrusive energy. You feel them wishing ill on you. You feel negative thought forms that they project and that they mirror onto you from themselves. Okay, and it's not cool at all because it's very it's psychic intrusions. It's intrusion energy. So this is why we clear energetically, we cut cords, we do protective symbols. I'm also going to be doing some Sun God Ra protective symbols. And I want to kind of go back to this selenite, because selenite combined with black tourmaline and selenite combined with smoky quartz is ultra protection, a shield. And smoky quartz in itself, as well as neumite and black tourmaline, that's just ultra protective. Some people like to use hematite. I have this on my bracelet right here. Hematite is ultra protective, okay? Some people like to use black obsidian. Some people like to use snowflake obsidian. Some people like to use black onyx. Don't ask how I know all of this. This is just like, I've never picked up a crystal Bible. I've never picked up a book. This is just in me, okay? I'm spiritually adept and awakened to where like I know my crystals. I've been collecting crystals ever since I was 5. I know the properties of every crystal. If you bring me a crystal one day, I'll know the name of it and I'll know what its property is to do to protect you, to do its duty for you. I will just know. Just like a herb, a plant. I won't even know what it's called, but I'll know intuitively, like if it can heal or if it can harm. And a lot of the times I'll know, like I will sense the plant. Like snake plants on Google, it says like all of this stuff about snake plants. It's a bullshit lie. Snake plants are wicked, okay? I don't care what anyone says. I just don't like the snake plant, okay? It's just like really intrusive. It's like a reptilian. It's like a reptilian wicked spirit with bad intentions. That's what a snake plant is to me. To where like, dude, if you're wicked, you're gonna have fucking snake plants in your garden, okay? I mean like 5, 6 snake plants, okay? Snake plants are not cool. They're not. Like the plants that are really like, there's so many plants and flowers, but like bleeding hearts are good, weeping willows are good, dandelions are good, clovers are good. There's just so many. And then there's spices too that I know about. I know about lots of spices. Marigold, calendula, rose, you know, the flowers. So selenite, this acts also, it can take out things and then it acts as a barrier of protection, just like the smoky quartz. So like if you're dealing with spiritual intrusions, psychic attacks, you're going to want to take black tourmaline, selenite, or smoky quartz, neumite, you know, even Apache tear. Okay, this is what the ancient Native American shamans and the Aztec tribes did. They used this and they put this around, it's like glass. It's a certain glass that they use. It's called Apache tear. And they would place these in their like outside of their teepees or in their teepees for protection, okay? So I usually like to use this combined with a chevron amethyst, but I've seen to wait, hold on, no, I have not misplaced my amethyst. Here he is. Okay, so she's right here. I had another one that I misplaced, and then also tiger iron, and red tiger's eye. Those are really good protection. Okay, I really love red tiger's eye. That is really a really, really good grounding root chakra crystal, as well as grounding into Mama Gaia. Okay, you have to ground because you have to feel stable. You have to have that security, that stability. You have to be rooted in yourself. You can't be rooted in others. If you're rooted in others, you're a trifling energy vampire. It's just not going to work long term. Trust me. So this is a chakra ball, and I like to take its energy, okay, and kind of morph it into your aura. So it's very protective, okay? So it's got red connected to the base root chakra. It's got orange, it's got yellow, and it's got blue. So that's all a root base chakra, okay? sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, and throat chakra. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the energy of this ball right here. First, I'm going to start cutting. So he acts as a magnet with this coil right here. This coil is going to magnetically and energetically suck out all negative energies, negative entities, psychic attacks, psychic intrusions, harmful energies mirrored onto you or projected onto you. It's going to take out all those projections. Okay. Hang on, you guys, because I feel something down here and I need to clear it really quick. I'm so energetically adept and open to the point where, like, I need to just shake this energy away. Especially, like, if you live amongst energy vampires and you are very spiritually adept to their thoughts and their thought line of energy. And it's very harmful. So, like, you have to protect your mental well-being, your mental health, and your spiritual well-being. Okay, so I'm going to do an energy ball. Okay, it's a chi aura ball. It's a chi ball of good energy. And I'm going to imbue the Ankh. And I'm also going to imbue Sun God Ra. And I'm going to just take it and just put it around your aura now. I'm an energy healer, I'm a light worker, you know, I'm a lot. So I'm just never what they say about me and never what you heard about me. So it's always a projection, a mirror of what the perpetrator or the intruder is doing. What they try to put on me, okay? So if you guys got a lot out of the session, this is also, okay, I don't know if you see the coil, it looks like a 6, like a snail almost, to where, like, this acts as a magnet and this will pull out negative energy from you, okay? So, like, I'll go like this and I'll feel for the energy and I'll see it too because I'm clairvoyant, and then I'll cut it. So, like, it's like other people's negative energy projections on, you know, that they projected onto you, whether it's your aura, your meridian points, your chakras, if it went into the leaks of your aura. And this session ran on so long tonight. I didn't even intend for it to be like this. To where, like, it's Mercury retrograde, so, like, it's like, I remember I read this on my phone, on when Mercury is in retrograde, they say to not make any huge, profound, or sudden or impulsive decisions regarding contracts, signing contracts, your relationships. There's going to be lots of fights in your relationships. There's going to be lots of, like, shakeups, like things that, like, wouldn't normally happen when Mercury is in retrograde. To where, like, don't sign off on any contracts in business. Don't make, like, a huge life change in your relationship in Mercury retrograde. My ex, he's actually his soon-to-be ex-wife, like, they are going through a divorce. So, I mean, that's done. But I'm still, like, in shock and awe of this whole situation because I literally thought that, you know, she was going to have him for a very long time. And, like, a part of me feels like, okay, she tried to put an intranquil spirit in him to the point where, like, she's binded him to her and she's put blood roots on him and done so much magic to where, like, I don't feel like he's fully back in his body. It's like only a little bit of him is there, but a lot of it, like, she still has a lot of magic control over him. So where, like, it's never going to be the same, you know what I'm saying, between him and I again. And I don't want that energy that was in her that is now controlling him. I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? So, like, that is, like, a relationship that has changed. And this happened to me, and us. She started attacking 2018 really bad. So it was, like, almost 10 years of my life. It felt like it was decades. It felt like it was lifetimes, to the point where, like, sometimes it even felt like it wasn't even in this life. Like, I feel like I'm in a completely different dimension now. I just still can't. And then it's like my kids are, like, living proof, like, okay, it was this lifetime, you know, because we have twin flame children together. who are also goddess incarnates like me, truth tellers, to where like they'll tell it like it is. They don't hold back. You know, they're very strong in their auras and their energy. They've got very profound spirit teams, as well as my sons. My first son, he's protected by angels, like archangels, like Michael and Raphael. And then my last son, my second son, my last child, excuse me, of this life, he's also very spiritually protected, to the point where like he got attacked back when he was not even like 1 yet, or he was like turning, how old was he turning? This was, no, he was turning 2, so he was like a little bit over 1. He got attacked by Alpha Draconian, and he defeated the attacks. And the Alpha Draconian was trying to defeat my son. And these attacks were like manifesting in my son's health, but like, my son was so strong, and his spirit team was so strong that he beat this fucking Alpha Draconian's attacks. Like, and he still beats his attacks like on a daily basis, to the point where like my son is so strong. He's much stronger than the Alpha Draconian. Alpha Draconian was very jealous of my son, to the point where like he tried to off my son, but my son beat it. He's very strong. I knew he was going to beat it, because, you know, I knew he was from me, and I just knew that my son was also strong like his dad, and his dad is very physically strong, and I'm very spiritually strong, and, you know, I can be physically strong depending on how I take care of my vessel. But no, my son is so fucking strong, to the point where like he beat all of their attacks, thankfully, just like I did. So I want you guys to get this. This beats spiritual attacks. This is like the best thing. You could order this online. They even have this at Walmart, at your super centers, not your neighborhood, but it's really, really good, to the point where like if you have any ailments or any pain, okay, you even can throw it around your room to defeat psychic attacks, thought form energy, reptilian attacks, because they try to, they're parasite spirits, to where like they will try to cast on you energetically, and they'll try to do little things to try to take you out of your calm energy, to try to set you off so they could take your energy, to where like it doesn't work. Okay, so I'm gonna find the top to this, and then I'm gonna be doing some tapping and then some feather work. So this is selenite, and this will cleanse you of just negative energies. Okay, I like highly recommend that you put this by your windowsill with a black tourmaline or a smoky quartz, and it will deflect negative energy, negative entities, you know, spiritual parasites, energy vampires. It'll deflect it back to them. Like, they'll stay in their lane. You stay in your energy. You have to guard and protect your energy, because if you don't, you know, they're going to start trying to like really fuck with you on the 3D level. And you can't have that. Excuse me, to the point where there's energy vampires that will try to block you, your throat chakra, excuse me, to the point where like they will literally try to block you. And they'll try to shut you down. They'll try to shut down your body. They'll try to go and leak into your chakras, and then try to thought form, like literally project their negative thought forms and their negative thoughts onto you, to where like you have to protect yourself with these spiritual tools that I've been talking about in my videos. Because if you don't, and you're spiritually adept and spiritually gifted like me, you're going to pick up on every attack, to where like you're going to see it, you're going to feel it, okay? And then you don't, you know, you have to protect your energy. You have to, because everything starts with energy. Everything. And I highly recommend you guys do this right here, to the point where this is like a really good carrot mixed juice, okay? Okay, and then you put this carrot mix. I get this at Walmart. I don't know if you can get this at Publix. They don't have Publix everywhere. So where like I have negative energy vampires trying to shut down my throat chakra so I could shut the fuck up, and it's just not gonna work. They do this a lot, so where like I have to get my lapis lazuli, and I have to start working with that. Yeah, no, this is, and you know, if you're spiritually open, you're gonna feel all of this, like whether you ask for this or not, whether it's, you know, unwarranted or not, like the divine just chooses you, to where like you automatically pick up, and you're just so emotionally intelligent and just so, you know, far evolved past these mortals on the human realm, that like you're so awakened, and it's like you almost have to, like when you go out into the matrix and you go out into the world, you almost have to like dumb yourself down just to be like fit into their level, which sucks, to where like, okay, Lilith and Lucifer don't want you to do that. They want you to be you, and they want you to shine your light, you know, kick ass in your energy, stand up, tell, you know, be that love that you are, share your truth. So I forgot to put lemon in this. I usually like do fresh lemon. I don't even have lemon right now. I just have this. Oh wait, no. I did get some. Sorry, it's right here. And you put this with the cinnamon powder and the juices. And it acts as like a natural like tonic. Like, not tonic, but like a cleanser for your chakras. And I did do a lot of talking in this session. I didn't realize that it went on for this long. Here, like, she's gulping. I really am, you guys. Sometimes I forget to hydrate, which is really bad. I took a lot of Ubers. I was in the sun today, the past like week, and I'm just like exhausted sometimes. So this is a smoky amethyst spirit quartz, and this is going to cut negative energy. But yeah, like you have to stay spiritually grounded and spiritually protected. You have to protect your energy. So this is why I'm here. So like I'm trying to enlighten you guys. I'm trying to, you know, help you with my own spiritual involvement. You know, maybe my examples, my real life stories can help you guys in some way. As well as, you know, I could school you energetically on how to, or spiritually, protect yourself and protect your energy, because there's lots of wicked spirits out there with bad intentions, to where like you need to guard and protect your aura. You need to guard and protect and cleanse your chakras. You need to really keep everything clean, because these unclean spirits, these wicked spirits, these vampires, or these spirit parasites, they will try to like fucking leak in, and they'll try to intrude on your energy. And it's really like, what they do is they destiny swap you, to the point where like you have to end up again defeating that. You have to defeat that shit. You have to, it's more than staying strong. Like you have to defeat their spiritual siphoning. You know, you have to protect your aura. You have to do cleanses. You have to do plant washes. You have to use this. This is the ultimate, like this right here is the best spiritual cleanse. This and the Olympia. So like this right here is so strong. This will take off any curse. This will take off any hex. This will take off any reversal or whatever the fuck they do. Okay. So this is a smoky quartz right here, and this is going to also take off negative energy. And then I put a frankincense in here. So where you could see the color. So this is dragon's blood, and this is frankincense. And like energy vampires, they will bullshit all day, all night. It don't matter. They're bullshitters. So like what they do is they'll like hide behind a mask, and they will just fucking just lollygag. That is the word. They will lollygag the fuck out of like everyone and siphon the energy. So okay, this right here, this defeats spiritual parasites. This defeats attacks. Okay. It defeats all their negative intentions. And then you kind of like put it like right here. And then you go like this. And if you're evil, you're going to hate sage. I've never met a pure person who this like sage. It's always the wicked. Always the ones with bad intentions, or like the ones wearing that mask, or the ones who live life superficially and who would just fucking, they just don't do right by, they don't live their purpose. So people who hate sage, I hate to break it to you, but you're wicked as fuck and you need to cleanse and heal from a lot of shit. Okay, and I am saying this is a PSA in my video. So if you don't like it, you can click off my video. You can block me. I don't care. Get away from me because I don't want you in my video. Okay, so I don't even want you to watch me. I am not a subservient fool, and I will never fold, and I will never be an Eve. And that's what the NWO and the reptilians and the Alpha Dracos, those controlling motherfuckers who are abusive as fuck, okay, that's what they want, a subservient little bitch, and I'm not that. So this right here is white sage, and this is not even the garden sage from the store. Like this right here, this is rubbed sage, this from the store. So like if I can't afford this, or if I don't have it, I have to light this. But since I have this, this isn't as, but they all act as like the same thing. So where like, okay, so like watch how this look, watch this. Look at this, look at this. And this is so pure, and I get this from the Chinese dollar store. And you could tell that it's from a good supplier. Like this is legit, like good supplier sage, to the point where like you feel so fucking good, to the point where it's like it cleanses all of their attacks, all the alpha draconian attacks, all of the negative energy attacks. You know, you have to cleanse from alpha draconians. They're harmful as fuck, okay? They'll try to like twist your whole life story to like your disadvantage, to where like you have to surround yourself with protection, whether it's crystals. This defeats their psychic attacks. This right here, okay, this is the best curse breaker. I don't care what anyone says, this is a curse breaker, okay? It's my last dragon's blood cone. I have a real life alpha draconian energy vampire here. He's been bullshitting in the kitchen for the past 2 hours, so I was like, let me just do my session. To the point where like he bullshits my mother and everybody around him, and it's, I see through him and his father. Okay, so this right here is going to protection, ultimate protection, to the point where they can't get you with this at all. They can't. And it'll destroy the parasite spirits in them. To where like you will physically, they will physically feel it. I didn't realize it until today. But if they're really wicked and you are protecting yourself with, you know, white sage incense, frankincense, dragon's blood, this will manifest as a sickness for them. So where like it'll be karmic backlash. And I didn't realize this until this morning. It was crazy. I was like, what? Because I was doing this to cleanse like myself and like protect myself, to where like one of them, he was really spiritually harming me, to where he was doing black magic on me. He had a pentagram with blood. You know, he was evoking Satan and the Baphomet, and like he was doing all this fucking shit to me, to the point where like it was fucking me up for a long time, but it stopped. Yep, he's the son of Satan, so they do that, the sons of Satan. He's not Lucifer. Lucifer is more light bearer, morning star, light bringer. He's almost like the equivalent, almost of the equivalent of sun god Ra, the ancient Egyptian god of the sun. Lucifer and sun god Ra, they've helped me through my darkest moments in life So, and you don't see my head spinning around. You don't see me vomiting. You know, you don't see me possessed. You see me actually helping mankind to where, like, I do good. I do right by mankind. I'm just trying to put some ice in this. But you guys, I did something today at the courthouse, and I'm so proud of myself. You guys are going to be proud of me, too. It was a long time coming, but I finally got it done. And I'm going to tell you this in my upcoming videos because I'm going to be at a hotel soon, and I'm going to be telling you in the privacy of my own room, to the point where, like, no energy vampire is going to be siphoning me. I'm not going to be bothered. Okay, they're not going to be sucking my chi life force energy. They're not going to be, their thought forms, they're not going to be able to reach me. They're never going to be able to pull me back into their fucking circus. Okay. So cheers to that. And this is not alcohol. This is this and this. I actually am not drinking alcohol. So here we go. This and this with this and this. So yeah, you guys. I love you guys. You guys are fucking awesome.